I'm in. I love that they took it back to the 60s for the Fantastic Four's debut, and rightfully so. When you think of the 60s, you think of the space age, the space race, and they represent that. The costuming looks crazy because these outfits are insane. I love the retro throwback. It doesn't look out of place. It doesn't look wild. This shit looks accurate. I really cannot get over the costuming because, yo, I love that it's a retro throwback and they still modernized it. This look just screams Fantastic Four. It reminds me of the comic books. It reminds me of the animated series. I've always wondered, yo, how do you make the Fantastic Four relevant in the modern era of MCU? I like that this is how they solved the equation. All right, how about we modernize the era they debuted in? I didn't see it coming. That shit brilliant. But I think what solidified it for me was seeing this guy right here. It's one thing to see the fits. Alright, those are dope. But when them doors to the Baxter building opened and we got a shot of it outside, I'm like, alright, I'm in. And then they cut right to the thing interacting with Herbie. Something just as simple as him tasting the sauce that Herbie made and the thing's reaction to it actually being good and going, okay, alright, that's what I'm talking about. That I was strapped in from right there. For me, they locked me in with the character and the personality right there from jump off. Yeah, this all looks great. The aesthetic is amazing, but we're telling a story here. And seeing the thing get busy in the kitchen, it's the perfect introduction to the Fantastic Four. Because if we're going to talk about Fantastic Four, then you got to start with the heart of the team. Benjamin J. Grimm. And I love that they brought Herbie back for this. This is the cutest robot I've ever seen in my life. I love seeing Herbie here because not only is he a throwback, but also it represents that whole space age. And not only that, but we get the space age and a family setting because it's Herbie cooking for everybody. Well, actually. And as we move forward in the trailer, I love that we get to see Reed Richards being the whole genius, but then also recognizing his shortcomings as well because it's his fault that everybody's stuck the way they are, especially the person that got the raw end of that deal. The thing. And as smart as Reed Richards is, we have Sue Richards there who's also brilliant, telling him, yo, here's the part of the equation that you're not factoring in. She assures her husband, yo, we all know what it is. Yo, my man was a rock before he became a rock. And the Human Torch is, you know, I mean, he's fine. I love that speech from Susan Richards, but we also get the contrast of that of Benjamin J. Grimm seeing the former version of himself. My man was out in the streets with the fedora and the jacket. That's how I knew this shit was about to be real. When they got the fedora and jacket, Benjamin J. Grimm, this shit gonna be cold as hell. But as I was saying, we get to see him looking back on that old footage of him before he became the Thing. And the way they cut away from that compliment of Reed saying, yo, he's the best pilot I know. He's like, yeah, I'm the most handsome one you know. And the way they cut away from that and we see the reflection of the Thing looking back in the television. That's the storytelling I'm here for. Because yeah, everybody's got great abilities, but the only person that was really changed physically, permanently, is the Thing. And I'm excited to see how that's navigated throughout the series. And of course, we got Galactus showing up too with this big ass head. The comics accurate Galactus finally appearing. Now, there were some things I was wondering about the trailer because, okay, this is the 60s and the Baxter building is in New York City. Where was it compared to Stark Tower, or was it Stark Tower beforehand? Or is it like a Boy Meets World and they're just over here off screen the entire time? And there are some folks saying that this is a reboot for the MCU. I hope so. I'm with starting over from a new point and moving forward. To me, that was what was great about the MCU of old. Yo, 10 years of storytelling. I'm ready for a new point and 10 more years of storytelling to get to a different point. Even if it's not a reboot, I don't care. I'm just glad that they're here. The hard part is always introducing a character and a team especially, and now you got the team that's the first family of Marvel being introduced. When it was Guardians of the Galaxy, I was like, but who cares? I was wrong. When it was Ant-Man, I was like, yeah, but who cares? I was wrong. I became big fans of those. Seeing the Fantastic Four done, I don't want to say like correctly because you got to give credit to the ones that came beforehand, right? But seeing them done this way, the MCU way, my biggest question was how? And I saw the how. I'm a believer. I believe. And I know I believe because I don't even like space like that. And this whole thing is taking place during the space race, the space age. And I am excited for it. Listen, they were street racing the Fantastic Car. You got me.